Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here. This was going to be my PS5 thick video. These are my measurements over here, but I had to postpone that. I'll be doing it right after, so check that out if you guys are interested. I had to talk about the madness of the pre-orders, because the news keeps on coming. So, of course, PlayStation screwed it up. It's just been going back and forth. It's like, it all goes back to that time when Xbox screwed up at that press conference they did. And it was like, where the F is the gameplay? And it was like, oh, Xbox is screwed. PlayStation came in, hit it out of the park. Everyone was like, oh man, or Xbox was screwed. PlayStation's doing great. Then Xbox was like, oh man, we got leaks. We got leaks and stuff. Crap, what's happening? We don't know what to do. Things are going wild. News is going crazy. They have other conferences. Things are happening. Nintendo does some stuff, and they're just like, we're gonna make money. You guys, whatever, and all this crazy stuff, all this crazy news. And then it finally came down to it. Xbox was like, hey, Game Pass. Good. Sony was like, hey, here's the price, here's the release dates, here's all the stuff we didn't even tell you guys about in that last press conference. Fantastic. I love that press conference. Then things kind of got really bad for them. Screwed up on the pre-orders. Apparently it was Walmart that, came out first and was like, well, and I think I mentioned this in the other video, I was like, somebody screwed up. But it must have been one of the retailers was like, hey, they just announced it. They announced the release date and the price. I guess we can go live with it. And that's basically what happened. I think it was Walmart that did it first. And that's still, ultimately it's on them because they were the ones that made that move instead of just getting in touch. But that still means that someone at Sony didn't do what they were supposed to do. They didn't definitively say to every single retailer, hey, don't do this. Do it tomorrow. So it was still on Sony because somebody should have been there to definitively tell every single person that's selling their game, hey, this is exactly when we want you guys to sell it. That's kind of the point of release dates. It's the same with pre-orders. Pre-order release dates are the same as actual release dates. Like, it's the same thing. Like, it's very strict. Or at least, obviously it's not as strict, clearly. But it should be just as strict. So, things were bad. And it was like, oh man, Sony, they took a little dip. Like, they had this great conference. They, then it was like, oh, you guys didn't say this information and that information. And things were kind of going down. And it was like, okay, Xbox has, they've got things to do, don't worry guys, they were kind of throwing shade like, and here's the official date. They even have a tweet about it where it's like, here's the official date and time, here's a link for your official times and stuff like that I saw, and I think that was probably yesterday. It was like, you can get your official times for your country and all this other stuff. And it's like, okay, Xbox is kind of throwing shade, Sony, you got nothing, you screwed up, you screwed the pooch. You still, amazing conference, ultimately, that's what matters to me, because I don't care about an Xbox. Exclusives, there we go. And then Xbox must have been listening, and they were like, oh, exclusives. Okay. Bethesda, we got them, $7.5 billion. So Xbox was doing really, really good. Everything coming to Game Pass. Everything was going really good. From what they did, they were the start of, truly hitting into what we're in right now as far as the next generation war. And they finally, they brought it back up. Everything was going their way. They were in the perfect position. Sony had screwed up. They had people pissed because of the pre-orders. They had people upset because they didn't tell people, like, hey, PlayStation 4 is still going to get new games. Spider-Man's coming. Apparently Horizon 2 is going to be on there, so that might be next year. So who knows how many games that are, that were seemingly PS5 exclusive are actually just coming right to PS4 anyway. So there's a lot of questions. Sony had a lot of issues. This was like the perfect moment. They already hit with the Bethesda thing, and then they already had the time for the pre-orders. And it was like, they basically had it. They had everything to at least build themselves back up. The Game Pass stuff, the purchase, and then the pre-orders were going to be good. And then it hit. And it was chaos. It was an absolute disaster. Just like PlayStation. And that was random. And it was still chaotic. It was absolute pandemonium. Don't get me wrong. That was PlayStation pandemonium. And this was just like, it was Xbox chaos. Pandemonium is worse than chaos. But it was still chaotic. And people still didn't get their pre-orders in. It was still chaotic. It was still, not in service, or, the websites are crashing. Coming soon was the big thing for Best Buy. I don't know why they always have that, but for some reason, I always find that super funny. But, coming soon for Best Buy. Everywhere else, it's out of stock. It's sold out. People talking about the Ring where it's loading up and loading up and loading up. And you keep trying and keep trying. Some people get it, some people don't. Same thing. Yet they had time. So it feels like it's worse because of the whole thing. And it's just like everything they had, everything that was building up, and it just plummets. And everything will be fine. The people that want to get them will still get them. Who knows what's going to happen as far as them doing the same thing as Sony, where Sony was like, hey, we officially screwed up, but here's an official statement like, hey, we're coming out with this. We will have them going, throughout the holiday season and stuff like that. You'll be able to get them eventually, I guess in waves. So we'll see what happens on the Xbox side of things. But either way, still chaos. I watched Dreamcast Guy. He talked about literally going to his GameStop, and I think he said they had 3 physical, well, they're all physical. I was thinking PlayStation for a second, but I think 3 Xbox S's, 2 Series X, and that was it. 5 consoles total. 3 for the S, 2 for the X, and that was literally it. And it's like, that's the sort of stuff that they have going. So that wasn't just like oh man, the sites are going out. That was literally just, that's how much they had. That was just stock. Giant line of people. He said, he said it was like, giant line of people who, of course, were there to pre-order the game at the very beginning. He was literally the first person in line, like his whole video. You guys should check it out, so I won't say like everything he did, but he got up and he got in line. He was the first person there, so you should check out that video, Dreamcast Guy. And it was just like, it's still chaos. No matter what, it is just chaos for these people, and it just sucks. Like, it's funny. It's like, I don't care either way, because I know, for one, I'm poor. I shouldn't be getting any new consoles, and 2, I always wait anyway, like, especially after finding out the whole PS4 thing, where I was like, oh, the only thing that was coming out anyway, as far as I was concerned, it was Spider-Man. And that gets a free upgrade. So if you didn't know that, if you get Spider-Man Miles Morales on PS4, you will get a free PS5 upgrade. So I highly recommend just get it, and when you eventually get it, maybe just play it again. Or, just F around with it later, and you'll be good to go. And just to see what it looks like, at the very least, when it gets the PS5 upgrade, I want to play it now. Like, so when that comes out, I'm just going to get it on the PS4. Unless I win a PS5, or I get like $1 million and I don't play the lottery, so that'll be super random. So unless I get a buttload of money, I am not going to waste my money on the PS5. I almost did for like a split second. Thank goodness it was out of stock. I literally was just like, whew. Thank goodness, because I was high, and you should not try to buy consoles when you're high. It was a big mistake, and I'm glad it failed. But this is a disaster. It sucks. It really sucks. It's like, I'm just here living my crappy life. I don't enjoy my life, but I want you guys to. I want other gamers to have fun. I may not be able to get a PS5 and have the funds to do it, but there are people out here who are ready, who can. People out here who want an Xbox, whether it's the S or the X, maybe both. Pretty much every YouTube channel is like, they were trying to get both just to do like reviews and all, the normal review stuff, to unbox them and do all that for both consoles. Same with the PS5, physical and digital. But in general, it's just tough out there for people, and I'm very curious how this will go into the actual holiday season. Like, these are just pre-orders, so when they hit sales next month, or hit shelves, and then they do like the physical sales and people start picking up their pre-orders and all that good stuff, then we will see exactly how this is going to play out. Because once you go from November, obviously you hit December, you got Christmas, and this is, like everyone's been saying, it's like the ultimate perfect time. Like, gaming has gone up some insane percentage, like especially when people were actually in lockdown. It was just, games flew off the shelves. It was games and streaming were like the 2 ultimate platforms, and games just blew up like crazy. So this was the year. It was like, this was the time to have it work out. Have everything kind of flowing smoothly, I guess is the best way to really put it. Have everything come out, have enough stock, or, as much as you possibly could. Find some way in the year 2020 to not have scalpers just instant bot purchase 47 PlayStations or 32 Xboxes and stuff like that. Or, I didn't even talk about the RTX stuff because I just been on like the console thing. But, the RTX, their new video cards and stuff, same thing. It's been like 3 big releases. I just been focusing on, like specifically my console video game stuff, because there's not much I can say about the RTX thing, because I'm not that big on PC. I have a rig now, but I'm sticking with what I got, because I'm like, I just don't have money like that. It's good, and that's where I'm at for now. Everything is just like, I am where I am, and when I'm rich, I'll have something else. So wanted to make a video about this. Simple. It sucks that it happened. Hopefully you guys are able to pre-order if you wanted to get one. Hopefully you're able to get a PlayStation as well as an Xbox if you wanted to get both. I'm sure they're the lucky few that were able to manage pulling off both. Maybe I'm sure there are people who were super fortunate. PS5 digital, PS5 physical, Series S and Series X. Probably got all 4. Hopefully. But scalpers suck. That's easy. Scalpers suck. And I hope Microsoft fixes it as well. And it's just funny. It's just really funny, because it's just the ebb and flow of the universe is so funny to me. because they had it like just so many ups and downs. It was just holy crap. Sony did the conference. Everybody's like, oh my god, Sony. They failed with the freaking pre-orders. It was like, oh, Sony, you guys screwed up. You didn't tell us this information. Then the Xbox is like, we got Bethesda, and it's just absolute pandemonium again. Like, holy crap, 7.5 billion. Are there going to be exclusives? Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? Did they just destroy Sony with this announcement? And then they have so much time to make it work. And then the pre-orders still screw up, and everybody's pissed again. And it's just like, wow. Just nothing gets to go right, huh? So, wanted to make that video. That's pretty much it. I would love to know your thoughts. Like I said, I'm going to be doing my PS5 video after this, which is, like I said, all my measurements and whatnot. But would love to know your thoughts on actually just across the board. I don't think anything else is coming out. So, unless I'm mistaken, this is the final pre-order debacle that we have. So, from here on out, it is Sony fixing their issues, Nvidia fixing their issues, and now Microsoft fixing their issues. So, we'd love to know your thoughts overall. So, please put your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know how you guys are feeling, just in general. It's been just the gaming news. It's fun to do these videos because I feel like I'm kind of in E3 mode because there's so much news to talk about. So I'm kind of enjoying it a little bit, but I wish it was all good news. It's just been real back and forth. It's either crazy and like that's exciting, but it's kind of scary. Who knows what's going to happen with exclusives and this and that. And then just pre-order pandemonium. And then pre-order chaos. So I don't know. It's wild. Like I said, want to know your thoughts on it, so please put your comments down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.